This morning at 8 a.m., I sat the real PTE exam. Why? Because every other day there is a new video screaming, yelling, PT has changed, and I wanted to separate the fact from fiction. Here is the truth. The test is very much same. What changed is the amount of panic content flooding your Instagram feed and your YouTube feed. Now, in the next 20 minutes, I am walking you through exactly what I faced today, task by task, section by section, with the real difficulty levels and time management strategies that actually work in the real examination. Let's cut through the noise and focus on what matters. So let's get started. That is 29th January, Thursday, morning at 8 o'clock. I took the real PTE test into the PTE Professional Test Center, which is in Hyderabad. Now I'm here to share my exam experiences wherever possible, task-wise. But broadly, from each section, I am going to share the crucial task information about the test. So first, starting with speaking. To start with read aloud, I got 6 questions from read aloud. And these 6 questions, the text size is 3 to 4 lines, number one. Number two, there are not many complicated words in the text. Mostly the words are pronounceable for many B1, B2 level users. It's not a problem. Occasionally, there are some uncomfortable words or lexical words I could see. Otherwise, read aloud was smooth, perfect. 3 lines, 4 lines text was there. That's about read aloud. And then next one, repeat sentence. In repeat sentence, I received 10 questions and around 9 questions were under 10 words or 10 words sentence. One sentence was slightly more than 10 words. That's what I felt. Otherwise, they are, if concentrated well, easy to collect, remember, and repeat. Not a problem. And talking about the next task, which is describe image, I got 5 questions. In these 5 questions, 3 questions were bar charts and 2 images were pie charts. So one of the images is where people are spending time. Are they spending more time in front of television, on radio, on internet? From different years, basically. Some 3-4 years data is given. First bars, 3 years where people are spending time, TV. Second, radio, same 3-4 years. Same 3-4 years for internet also. So it's a simple to understand question and describe it. Since describe image is an important task, I'm going a bit lengthy on that. And then once these 5 questions from describe image, from which 3 were bar diagrams, 2 were pie charts. I got into detailed lecture normally, organically. So the audios were easy to understand. They're not very complicated and there was no heavy accent in the audios. Moderate accent, easy to understand. The pace of the audios were not very difficult to understand. It easy audios, I can say. And then one of the lectures was about London's Waterloo Bridge painting. So in the lecture, the lecturer was explaining the painting of London's Waterloo Bridge. The painting was drawn by XYZ person some years back, and she was explaining it. That was the thing. Otherwise, I forgot. I'm extremely sorry about it. And then after read a lecture, answer short questions. They were simple 5 questions. I could answer all of them correctly. Maybe 1 or 2 I was unable to answer. That's okay. The weightage is lesser for this. And this does not contribute marks to speaking. It contributes marks to only listening now. And then the 6th one, which is summarize group discussion, right? The summarized group discussion is nothing but 3 students discuss about certain things, 3 friends, 3 people discuss about a particular thing, and we have to write down and summarize it. That's what the task all about. It's a new task. So one topic was field trip from university. The second was about the cooking. So the field trip was about, there are 3 speakers. One of the speaker is very much interested to go to a field trip because that person gets to learn many things by visiting the beaches, visiting the hotels, getting to meet the students from the other departments. And another speaker was not very keen going because he had football match clashing with this event. And then one more speaker was kind of okay after getting the inputs from the other speaker. Okay, so this was all about the field trip. 3 students were discussing the benefits of field. 2 people were inclined to field trip. 1 student is reluctant to go to field trip because he does not find any value in the college field. Then The next summarized group discussion was on cooking. How to manage the cooking and manage the studies. That was the core topic. One of the students believes in cooking is better when it is minimalistic, like only salads, soups, all that. And the other student loves food preparation and they share the cooking activity. There are turns for the activities like cutting vegetables and all of that. And that person feels that the cooking has become competitive in their group, in that particular person's personal group. And the other person has a different opinion. The person feels that buying ingredients in bulk and then storing in refrigerator, freezing it, heating, eating will save time. So these are the three views on cooking. Both of the audios lasted in between 2 minutes 30 seconds to 3 minutes. I think they were easy to comprehend and or rather summarize in within 2 minutes time. I could do it in 1 minute 40 seconds. I could summarize the group discussion, right? And then respond to a situation, the seventh task of speaking, in which one of the situation was you are supposed to interview your fellow student or friend as part of your academic dissertation, right? Your friend has agreed to give you an interview and he has agreed to give the interview on Wednesday. So you are asking that person whether he's okay to give you that interview, which is necessary for your academic assignment, on Wednesday at 12 p.m. You have to ask this. This was the question I got. And the other situation is there is a vacancy in the university, right? You are approaching the concerned manager who is responsible for recruitment to know whether the opening is still there or is it filled. Number one. Number two, you're also, if it is not filled, it is still there, you would like to understand from that manager, concerned manager, what are the roles and responsibilities of that job. This was a situation and response situation. So about the writing part, I think I got two questions from summary written text. It is by default you get two questions. So one of the questions, the work of Charles Darwin's work and his evolution theory, his biography sort of thing. How as a naturalist has become the proposer of or the what do you call? He has come up with the Darwin's evolutionary theory, or he had some claims in that, that claims were summarized. I got close to 200 word passage. I summarized it in 55, 60 words. Right. And then the other summarized written text question is about intellectual capital. How a company can use intellectual capital to grow. What is the importance of intellectual capital for a company to set new benchmarks, to be successful? What are the intellectual, how the company has to utilize the intellectual capitals? I could summarize it in 65, 70 words, right? So that was the thing. The most, what do you call, interesting thing, that is essay. The essay I got is, the topic is, should learning foreign language at school to be made compulsory? What is your opinion? Do you agree? You disagree? Write your own experiences. That okay? So I could write around 250 words. So probably once the score is out, I can share that template. So then coming to the reading module, the most important thing, that two summaries, one essay, hence the writing module. Now we are going into reading module. In the reading module, from the first task and the important task of reading modules, fill in the blanks drop down. I received 6 questions. In the 6 questions, one question had slightly complex sentences and complicated vocabulary choices. One has moderate vocabulary, moderate choices, and then the remaining 4 were easy to fill. So this is my fill in the blanks drop down 4 option type of fill in the blanks. And then the multiple choice, multiple answer passage was longer. So I tried my level best to answer it. I spent about 1.5 minutes time there. And then I got into reorder paragraph. The sentences were pretty short, right? I think they were short sentences. Each sentence is not more than some 10 words, 12 words. That's the thing. There are two questions from reorder paragraph, not very complicated. Getting into the fill in the blanks, drag and drop type fill in the blanks. So the questions, all of the questions were super comfortable for, I think, any user who is B1, B2 range can easily answer those four questions from the reading drag and drop fill in the blanks, except one or two choices which were like little confusing. Otherwise, it was smooth sail. If you practiced sufficiently, I think you should sail through this very easily. Right. And talking about my multiple choice single answer, I hardly had, I think, 1.5 minutes time left. I purposefully spent more time on fill in the blanks, and I wanted to spend lesser time on multiple choice questions anyhow. So that is something I implemented. So that's the end of reading module. So now listening, the lecture that I received was about the Big Bang theory, cosmology, the estimation of the age of stars, which is few billion years. I think around 17.3 billion years is the age of the oldest stars which is there in the cosmos. That was the lecture, and the how the physics is used in a certain way to estimate the age of the stars more clearly. And the speaker concluded stating that there is more what do you call concrete way of estimating the stars age than ever before. So that was the thing, with simple lecture to understanding. There are 7-8 points in it. All you need is 4-5 points. That's enough to write summary. It went smoothly. And then I got into multiple choice, multiple answers. One of the audios were a little difficult. I don't say the audio was so much difficult, but the options were long, right? 1 minute, 30 seconds it lasted for. So that means what I did, I was trying to answer the question while the audio is going on by doing some multitasking. You're listening, writing some notes, and also parallelly looking at the option. This is something I did as an experiment, of course. So I could answer 1, 2 options from each in multiple choice, multiple answers. With the fill in the blanks, the fill in the blanks were easy. Only thing is, in one of the questions, the first 2 missing words that you have to type were very much close in the first line itself. So what I did, those 2 words, I wrote them down on erasable noteboard, and then the remaining words I directly typed. The words were not complicated. The spellings were not complicated. It was a smooth thing about fill in the blanks typing. The length of type-in was 30 seconds, 35 seconds. There is something called highlight correct summary. The highlight correct summary audios were 1 minute audios. The audios were clear, but the options were very long. So I have done notes writing, and based on my notes, I selected the correct summary from the 4 options. And then after that, I got into this task called multiple choice single answer. It was pretty easy because the options were shorter. So I could do my best there in both of the questions. The length of multiple choice single answer audio was 1 minute, 10 seconds, 1 minute, 10, 15 seconds, something like that. So these 2 tasks, like multiple choice, multiple answer, multiple choice, single answer, although they do not supply so much score, their audios were like lengthy, right? 1.5 minutes. So 5.5 minutes of time is occupied by, I think, taken by the not so important tasks and listenings. And I got 18 minutes, 19 minutes time for my part 2 of listening. Coming to the select missing words, as you know, there will be only one question. I got one question only, and it was easy to guess as far as my knowledge, my that point of time was concerned. So I could answer it well quickly. Within 5-10 seconds, I selected the right answer. I went ahead and I got into this highlight incorrect words. I got 2 questions. One of the questions, the audio was sober, right? It was not very complicated to understand. The pace of the speech was moderate for the first one. There was nice intonation in the speech. So picking up the important incorrect words became so easy. However, the second audio was not that easy, because after every 2 words, the speaker was increasing the pace. Like for first few words, it was going slow. Then after those 5, 6, 10 words, the pace of the speech was increased. Then again, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, fast. This was the thing. And I was able to identify the first one, some 4 incorrect words, second one, some 4. That was about highlight incorrect words. And then in the 3 of the dictation questions at last. So for answering 3 of the dictation questions, I had 3.5 minutes time or 4 minutes. See, you don't have to do the same way, because my intention as a test taker is to observe things rather than accurately answering them. Observation is my agenda. So your agenda is not observation. Your agenda is answering accurately, allocating time wisely. So I do not recommend you allocating more time or any time after multiple choice single answer, multiple choice, multiple answer, and also highlight correct summary also. I don't want people to spend so much time on it, which I spent because I had to observe the pattern. And then talking about dictation, I got 3 questions. One question, I got carried away because I was at the end, and there was some disturbance in the same room. I think one of the students was not leaving. Something happened there. So that took away my concentration for some time. So 2 of the questions in dictation I answered 100% accurately. And one of the questions, I think 1 or 2 words I messed up. Otherwise, it's all good. So finally, what I say is the PT hasn't changed at all, right? In terms of the content, the difficulty level, it's more or less same. So there are videos on the internet space. Every week, people come forward and claim that this is big change in PT, that big change. Do you know 2026 PT is changed? Do you know this happened? Do you know that happened? That's all sensational stuff. Took the PT exam after I think 4 5 months just to understand whether there are any changes, noticeable changes in the test or not. It's very much same. That's it. So I recommend you to practice based on the practice plan that I supply during the coaching, because that practice plan is more scientific. It is based on so many PT attempts by me and my test takers. And so spend less time on researching about PT, because every 1 or 2 hours there's a video on PT. This change, that change, this is coming this differently, that is coming differently. Did you know this? Don't take PT off, before watching this video. All that stuff is sensational content. People supposed to do it when you are on internet space. If you want your user to watch your video, get hooked to the video, click the videos, all such sensation is needed. However, so you should choose the and consume the information wisely. So I see one problem today in the PT test taker fraternity is they're consuming more information about the test and they're practicing less. So it should be reverse, like 10 20% you need inputs. The remaining 70 80% priority you should give for practice, right? Having a perfect practice portal, everything. For our students, we provide a perfect practice portal, number one. Number two, I give only the exam tested inputs. Number three, I only give the much necessary practice plans based on my real exam experience. So this is something which is different with us. If you want to join our training, please find out the plans which are there in the description, and also you can take a free mock test on the site. You can scan the code.